Hey guys, welcome back. It's Terry from Smooth Workshop. Hello, hello. Yes, another quick update on my current progress. It's not a step by step. My Peterbilt 359 conventional truck. Yeah, 1/16 scale. Always start a video, always end up coughing. There we go. Anyway, yeah, so in the last one I was talking about getting a rolling chassis made up. Ooh. Look what we've got here. Yes, now, not all of this is glued together. A lot of it is just push fit together just to try a few things out. I have decided to not redress the fuel tanks, and also not to redress the exhaust, although I have a little bit of the paint left because, yeah, I've still got a tiny little bit of touch up to do on one of these. So yeah, I have a rolling chassis as such. It's a big truck. Now, in the other one, obviously I told you about packing the tyres up with the packing nuts and that, so it's sitting the rims. Brilliant. Now, the paint that had been sent as a sample wasn't quite chromy enough. I expect you can see that they're quite chromy now. I did try putting the Ushi powders over the paint I was given, but the thing is, I didn't know what that paint was that I was given, whether it was a lacquer or whatever, and it didn't quite work. So I had to redo the outer parts of the wheel with the Res black gloss, okay, and then go over it with the Ushi chrome metallizing powders. And I think you'll agree that although it's not immediately like chrome, they're chromy enough. So the wheels are all done. Excellent. They're all just placed on just now. I obviously still have the front hubs and brake assemblies to put back on. Still got to spray the engine. I've got the engine in just sitting there. Fuel tanks just sitting in there, and the actual back plate and fifth wheel sitting there just to have a little look at. I've also sprayed up all the props, which will go back in when it's glued. So I'm just going to move these off to the side. Apologies for knocking the camera. And I'm just going to, as I say, just dry fitting everything at the moment, just to make sure everything fits. But as you can see, it's a big old chassis. I mean, you can look at my cutting mat here, and my cutting mat's like 420mm long, and yeah. So I'm just going to put this over to the side and give you a bit of an update of the other stuff I've been up to. Apologies about the scraping about with the wheels on my chair and the creaky chair. Right, okay, so I've got some other stuff primed up. You've probably seen in this, I've done all the steps, and I had the lovely aluminium colour on. Well, I've got a nice semi-gloss black to put on the rest, so I've masked all them up. I've done the first initial coat of grey on some other parts, and, excuse me, let's see if we can get this sitting properly. I've got a few more paints and that to put over these. I have also got a whole load of other bits ready for priming and painting. So yeah, quite a lot of stuff to get done there, although I've got a bit of work to do in the dash. So, what I have discovered is the Ushi powders don't like going on top of an unknown metallic base. It works on acrylics, but it doesn't work very well on lacquers or enamels. I wasn't quite sure whether paint had been supplied was an enamel or not, and it didn't give me the result that I wanted. So, where have we got to? Okay. Remember that black bumper that I've done several times? Look at that. So basically I've went over that again with the Res gloss and the Ushi powders. And yes, there's a few imperfections on it, but bumper's going to catch all the chips and everything. So next stage in this, it actually sits that way up on the truck. Next stage on this, I have got to fettle it so that I can fit in an LED in that side and an LED in that side to do the lighting on the bumper, and then that can get fitted onto the truck. So currently I'm at the LED fettling stage. So that's the front bumper. Bear with me a second. Now, for some strange reason, I started this a year ago. I've got a little side panel here that goes on the side of the truck. That's the only one I've got. The other ones went missing, so I might have to scratch build something, but it's not out with my capabilities, so hopefully I find it. If not, I'll need to scratch build one for the other side. Right, okay, into the interesting stuff. So, I've sprayed all the cab, I sprayed it all in primer, and then I've started fettling it all to get rid of all the rough spots, high spots, etc, etc. You may notice a lot of things hanging out of the lights here. Now, I've drilled all these out and fitted them on. These are fibre optic cables. Now, the reason they're so long is, when I initially did it, I thought, now remember the back of the cab, where I want to host all the wiring, sits on the back of here, okay? Like, roughly like so, okay? And when the actual inner piece goes in, this is all blanked off, and I'm hoping to put all my electricity in here. Now, initially I left these long, thinking that somehow or another I'd be able to bend all these down, drill a little hole, get them through into this casing. Fibre optics are not as pliable as copper, so I'm actually thinking that I shall mount the LED that will drive these inside the top. Problem is, this doesn't come with a headcloth. Okay, so I got myself some plastic card. Okay, I got a piece of paper and I roughly sketched out the size of it, and put a few extra bits on here to beef it up. And this should, I'm doing this on camera so it might be a bit right, so I have got a head lining that will sit inside there and hide all these fibre optics. Now, before I was trying to trail all the fibre optics down the inside and they're kinking, and if you kink fibre optics they don't give you the best light. So again, as I say, after having looked at it, I think I'm going to house the LED that drives these 5 lights that go on the top. Inside there, I'll light block it and everything, and I'll trim these back. It's a learning experience, but yeah. So I've got a false sealant that will go in there. Let's see if I can get this to... Sorry, I'm looking through the camera rather than looking at the part. So that would sit in there. I'm just looking for my clear parts. Now, the windscreen. Now, you're not going to make this out, possibly. But there are ejector pin marks there. There was one there and one there. I have tried my damnedest to buff these out. Okay, so I've kind of got it looking not bad. So when the windscreen goes in, eventually, it will sit in there like so. And then we have the seating portion. Now, I have decided on the colour on this, and remember I said I was going to make it a gloss black. I'm going for GX colour, GX2, which is a gloss black. Now, I've got 3 pots of this because it's a big old truck, and I'm thinking, yeah. So that's what the body colour is going to go in. I'm going to have to make up my own decals for my Tomb Raider theme. So anyway, I'm thinking if it's a black exterior, I might go for a light tan, slightly darker brown seats. But let's just stick these in here, like so. So there's the interior with a windscreen in, okay, and it only covers the side windows, okay. And if I can get the LEDs fired up with a bulb inside there, then I've only got to take a copper wire down the side that I can then pass down and under into said cab, and can put my electricity in the back. That's the idea. So that's kind of that part and the stage that bit's at. Obviously, it all needs to get sprayed and a little bit of fettling and stuff like that. But I've scratch built a roof lining and everything, and it looks as if that's going to work quite nicely with that. So I'll just put that to the side. Now the other thing is on the rear cab. Obviously, there's a roof that sits on this, and this is all twisted and warped and all the rest of it. I have, now I'm just trying to look for the, oh, I've placed it away, give me 2 seconds. Apologies, I should have been better prepared. Right, okay, so on the side of this rear unit here, there are, now that's that one, and that's that one, little running lights that go basically onto there and then onto the side of the roof, and there's wee running lights there. Okay, so the lights themselves had no capability for wiring, so what I've done is I've drilled them out, and I've used a little bit of can't remember if it's 1.5 or 2 mil poly tube, and constructed a little tube that I could put an LED in there, and then through the tube there's a hole in the bottom there, and then I'll drill a wee hole in the side, and the lamps will go on either side for the running lights. So I've got 2 of those, so that's one bit of fettling for the LEDs. So there's going to be one on either side of the rear unit there. So that's a little bit of fettling there. Obviously, I mentioned that the bumper needs a bit of fettling because I've got 2 lights to put into that, so that's fair enough. I'll put this off to the side. There are 2 headlights. I've still got to go over this with the gloss black Stynores primer, and then it'll get the metallizing powders, but I've taken the 2 headlights and I've drilled a little hole on either side for me to pass the wiring in. Now I'm going to put 2 LEDs in either side. Whether I'm going to make them low beam, high beam, or just have the both of them on at the same time, I haven't decided. So I've drilled through the bottom of these, grooved a little channel out in here that I can actually pass the wires through, and then I'll run them over the hinges. So when it's sitting on the chassis, because obviously the bonnet tips up, there'll be enough free play that I can still tip the bonnet up, but the headlights will work. So that is another bit of fettling for the lights, and I'm just trying to think what the next thing will be. The back lights I've already done. That's basically an update of where I have got to. So it's pretty much the next stage is, I mean, when I was testing my fibre optics, this is what will be driving them. I've got a small board here, just with a 5mm clear white LED. I'm going to be mains powering this through an adapter rather than batteries, because I've got quite a few lights to run off it. So just for the 5 lights on top of the cab, I've got a 5mm LED. It runs at 3 volts, 330 ohm resistor, a little push button, so that when I put my electricity into it, so I'll just put the plus in there, you will go in, and the negative in there, like so. Obviously I'm going to make up a circuit board for the inside, but basically when I want to turn all the headlights and all the rest of it on, there we go. And the 5 fibre optics will be heat shrinked and attached to this bulb, and that will drive the 5 lights on the top. So that's kind of where I'm at. Still got quite a bit of spraying to do. Oh, right, okay. This part, the front hood, now I've sprayed it in primer and I've started rubbing it back and all the rest of it. There's a lot of ejector pin marks on there, so I've cleaned up one side. I've still got that side to clean up. Still got the inner wheel arches to clean up. Now, these are indicators on either side at the front. What you get is basically not even, this is probably about 3 times the size. You get a little disc that goes in my wee half moon on either side for the indicators, and then you get the clear glasses that go on. So basically what I've done is I've taken polytube and built it up on either side to extend it, drilled some holes through it, and then drilled holes again so that I could get some more of the, you can maybe see the hole there, for the wires to go through. That'll get snipped once it's set, it's still setting. So I'm going to have a small nano LED on that side and a nano LED on that side and the same on that side, and then I shall run them along and forward towards the hinge point. Where's the front? There's the front. Along towards the hinge point, because obviously this goes on the front. Let me just see if I can assemble this just now. Apologies for waffling, but I just thought might as well do a wee quick update whilst I'm... Is this going to pop in there? So obviously this is going to be gloss black. This is going to be all chrome. So I'm going to have two headlight bulbs, indicators, and all the wires will have to run, because there's a hinge, up and then along the chassis, and I'll tie an indicator. So that is what I'm currently working on. So I can get all the LED placements done, and then I'll get them sprayed and then into the gloss and all that sort of thing. Now I can't actually do next stage on this. You can only put one hinge on it aside. So I'm going to spray this with the gloss black Steiny. I'll go over once with the Ushi van der Rossen buffing powders, and then I'll set my LEDs in, run them down, and the wires through, and then I'll fill the wires in so they look like they're part of the headlight. And then I'll be able to go over the gloss black. So that's kind of where I'm at, guys. So hopefully that's brought you up to date with the Peterbilt build. Still a lot to do, still a lot of fettling, still kind of working out as I go along. But yeah, it's a bit longer than the last update, but there was electricity. I do like my electricity. So yeah, it's going to have headlights, working indicators, the 5 running lights on the roof, rear lights, indicators, side cab spotlights. I'm thinking about doing a couple of interior lights on the roof. I haven't seen inside the Peterbilt truck, so I don't know where the interior lights would be. I'm also thinking about lighting up the dash. So that's where I'm at. Hope you found this interesting and useful, and hopefully if I keep battering on with this, we shall be getting some bits together and paint on and LEDs going and stuff like that. So as always, enjoy your hobby, happy modelling, and it's Terry from Smooth Workshop saying, till next time, see you later.